All right, I want to thank you so much for bringing ROV into your store. I want to give you a little bit of training on how to use it, how to sell it, and what makes it different from the other gear on the market. All right, first, let's talk about an elevator pitch. How do you sell this thing when you have a customer in front of you and you have 30 seconds to hook them? ROV is all about simplicity. It's all about setting up in as little time as possible and getting a beautiful cinematic clip. So unlike a gimbal that takes 5 minutes to set up and balance, you can take this out of the bag, set it up with or without legs, turn it on, open your app, press go, and you're recording that quickly. It's that easy to use. There are two versions of ROV. There's ROV Mobile, which is designed to be used with a smartphone, and ROV Pro, which is designed to be used with a mirrorless DSLR camera or a smartphone. ROV Mobile retails at $300, ROV Pro retails at $400. Now the major differences is that ROV Mobile you cannot use with a DSLR camera. It only comes with the mobile mount. Now Pro comes with a quick release ball head, and it also comes with the mobile mount with it, so you can film with your smartphone if you want to. Now one other major differentiating factor is that ROV Pro has a port on it. It has a built-in intervalometer for shooting time lapses with your high-end DSLR. If you don't know what an intervalometer is, it just means it makes your camera take pictures. So when you're shooting a time lapse on ROV Pro, it won't move while the shutter is open, so you don't get any motion blur. That capability is not present on ROV Mobile as it's built into the app with the smartphone. Now both are controlled with a smartphone app. ROV Mobile though captures footage while being controlled from the smartphone app. ROV Pro uses the app to control its movement, whether you're doing video or time lapse, and you record video with your camera. One other thing to note is that ROV Pro comes in a premium gunmetal finish, whereas ROV Mobile is a standard black finish. There's two different lengths of both ROV Mobile and ROV Pro. You have the everyday length that has 8 inches of travel, and you have the traveler length that has 16 inches of travel. You might use the traveler length if you're shooting an interview, a time lapse, or just want a longer slide. And the everyday is for the people that don't want to take up a lot of space, just pull it out of their messenger bag and get a quick slide. All right, I want to show you how easy ROV is to use, starting with ROV Mobile and filming on a phone. I feel like if I can show you how simple it is, you can convey that to the customers that are interested in buying it and hopefully get a sell. So let's just press and hold the power button for 3 seconds. Let's walk over here. I think I want to get a slider shot with this bike as foreground and get some of the cityscape in the background. So I'll just set it up here. Let's mount my phone. Now once you get inside of the app, you're going to have 2 icons. One's a camera, one's a phone. So I'm filming with my phone, so I'll click on that one. It's going to connect over Bluetooth to the hardware. Then it's going to go into a video recording screen. Now, there's 3 different modes. You have video, you have slow-mo, and you have time-lapse. And all those modes are pretty powerful. You can get some amazing content just from your phone. So right now, I'm just going to deal with video. And there's different settings that you can choose if you want. Right now, I could just press record, which I think I'm gonna do and show you how simple this is. It starts recording and moving ROV simultaneously. It's that simple. Now, if I wanna drill down and actually have some professional features to help me pull focus, help me level my camera, help me expose, all those features are built in. So if I press the M button, I get full manual control of my shutter speed, of my ISO, of my white balance. If I press the plus button, I actually have a digital loop, so it helps me pull focus. If you want to pull focus on this tire, all I have to do is swipe my finger up and down to pull focus. I can change my frame rates. I'll show you time lapse in a few minutes here. Now, if I press on ROV settings, I'm going to have options to where I can move my carriage to either end of the slider. I can change my speed. I can choose to loop, which will make my slider go from end to end if I want to, or I could choose to unpair it if I want to break the Bluetooth connection. All right, so we have ROV Pro here with a Sony a6500, and instead of recording with our phone, we're using our phone to control it. So we're going to click on the camera icon, and it's going to put us into a different interface that basically turns your phone into a controller. So I have duration, which is basically my speed. Ramp is just how much it eases into the move, and loop, it's basically self-explanatory. If you wanted to keep bouncing back and forth for an interview or just getting a bunch of slider shots, you can do that as well. So just to start, I'm gonna move my duration down to say 14 seconds and press start. It's gonna move to the end and start my move. It's that simple. All right, so if you've never used a slider before, it's important to know how to use one. And with a lot of slider shots, it's all about having proper foreground. So I would actually set up this shot with the slider back a little bit further and to make sure I get some of these bricks in the foreground so I can tell the shot is moving. If you're just out in the middle of nowhere, especially above the ground on a tripod, it's gonna be really hard to tell. So given that foreground is super important, there's a few key moves that you need to learn. One is a reveal shot. So I'm actually gonna go down here. Let's say I wanted to film somebody over on the side. I would set up my slider here and I would move it right to left and reveal around the brick wall. All right, the next shot is very similar, but now it has an angle. ROV can actually go up to a 45-degree angle with a built-in ball mount. So I'm just gonna move it up like so. I control it, start my move, and have a little bit of vertical movement like a jib in the shot. Gives it more character and depth. The final shot I'm going to show you guys is what's called a push-in, and it's great for slow shots to build the drama, kind of sets the scene, it intensifies whatever's going on in the scene. So I'd start here, push in my shot, or I would pull out depending on what I'm trying to portray in the scene. And remember, especially with push-ins, foreground is really important. So depending on the scene, I might even move my slider down here on the side, and so I actually get some of the foreground from the brick wall in my push-in shot. Let's talk about specs of ROV Mobile and ROV Pro. We've talked about the differences in features, but all the specs between them are the same. So first is battery life. They have 24 hours of mixed use battery life. You have a battery indicator here, which will let you know how much juice you have left. Both models can pull up to a 5-pound camera up to a 45-degree angle. And the ball head that's included with ROV Pro can hold the same amount of weight. Now, there's tripod mountability on both models. On the bottom, there's a 3/8 and a 1/4 20, so you can mount either a quick release plate or you can mount this directly to a tripod. Also, both models have all-terrain legs with quick lock adjustments that let you level it on any terrain. Both ROV Mobile and ROV Pro are controlled by mobile applications that operate over Bluetooth. Right now, iOS is a more full-featured app that lets you record video and control your slider with it. Android right now lets you control your slider, but not record video in the same app. So you'll have to switch to a different app if you want to use ROV Mobile with a phone to record video. All right, so one of the coolest features on ROV Pro and ROV Mobile is the ability to time lapse. Now, from a sales perspective, this is really important because you have a lot of photographers that are interested in coming over and learning how to shoot video. Time lapse is basically pictures that get processed in a video format. So it's a great bridge to market to people who might not be ready to make this step to a slider or to video yet, but who might be interested in time lapsing. Let's check it out. All right, one of the coolest features on ROV Mobile and ROV Pro is the ability to do long exposure time lapses, or just a normal time lapse if you want. But long exposure gives you the ability to either shoot at night, or you can make really cool moving objects like water look really dreamy. So what we have set up right now is an iPhone XS or 10s Max with an ND filter on it. And what we have set is in the manual settings, I have a 2-second shutter speed. My ISO is set to 29. And let me show you how to set up a time lapse on ROV. Go into ROV settings, and it's really simple. All I do is I set what my clip length is. So normally I do at least a 10-second shot. That's gonna give me a 10-second video. That's gonna give me the minimum duration. So if I go to 10 seconds, my minimum duration of a time lapse is 12 minutes, and that's based on my shutter speed. So all I have to do is go out, press start, and my time lapse is in action. I'll come back 12 minutes from now and check it. Next though, I'm gonna show you how to set up a time lapse on ROV Pro using the different method with a shutter release cable with a mirrorless camera. Let's go see it. All All right, we have ROV Pro set up and connected to our app. The only difference is that we have a shutter release cable that's not included with ROV Pro. It's an optional purchase. It's a standard 2.5mm cable to the specific camera connection that you have. So after you get that set up, you go into the app, click on time lapse, and it's a really similar user experience to setting up with the phone. I have my shutter speed, so right now I want that to be 2 seconds. If I click on it, it's gonna actually trigger my camera, and that's how I test my shot, make sure my shutter speed is what I want it to be. Looks good to me. Clip length, I'm gonna go up to 10 seconds, just like I did on the phone. As soon as I press start, the LEDs will turn turquoise, and that means I can literally put my phone away, put it in my pocket, leave. This unit is programmed to do a time lapse. All right, well, I hope this video answered some of your questions and was able to give you some valuable knowledge on what ROV is, how to use it, and most importantly, how to sell it. If you have any questions at all about ROV or other products at Rhino, please don't hesitate to reach out at dealers@rhinocg.com. Thank you.